Good morning, Year 8s. This week is Perimeter Week, which, and perimeter we looked at last week, is the distance around the outside of an object. So if you wanted to put a pretty border around your school desk, you would have to measure the lengths of all the sides and add them together and find the perimeter of your desk. Okay. You will need to convert between metric units of length. You'll need to be able to find missing numbers if you're not given all the numbers of a perimeter problem. And you're going to learn to find the circumference of a circle. So I'm going to start first of all with metric conversions. We had a quick look on Friday, but I feel like we need to have another go. The metric system is designed so that you can convert between units just by multiplying and dividing by 10 or by powers of 10, by 10, 100, 1,000, and so on. We start with meters. And we're going to do meters here. 10 meters, every 10 of any unit has a new name. 10 meters is a decameter, and I'm just going to put a D for decameter. 10 of those is a hectometer, and 10 of those is a kilometer. Right? A tenth of a meter is called a decimeter. A tenth of that is a centimeter, and a tenth of that is a millimeter. Actually, I said I wasn't going to put, I'm just going to put the letter, right? So this is only part of the metric system. There are lots more units. I can have a tenth of a millimeter, and I can think of another 6 that are smaller than millimeters. I can think of a few that are bigger than kilometers, but we're just going to stick with these main ones. The other good thing about this system is that no matter what it is you're measuring, we still have all the same prefixes. So if we're measuring length, we use the meter, and then we add something: decameter, hectometer, kilometer. If we are measuring mass, we would start with grams. We would have a decagram, a hectogram, a kilogram. If we were measuring volume, we'd start with liters: decaliter, hectoliter, kiloliter, and so on. If we were measuring energy, we'd start with joules. It does the same thing. If we were measuring data, we'd start with bytes: decabyte, hectobyte, kilobyte. So the really good thing about the metric system is that you just have to, if you know the units, you can convert from one to another really easily. Now, I learnt a mnemonic to remember this, and then when I do my converting units, I just write this at the top of my page. Instead of an M for meters, we put a 0 because it has no prefix, right? It could be meter, liter, gram, joule, whatever. It has no prefix. So if we leave it as an O, we can use it for any kind of measuring. Now, I learnt a mnemonic from my Year 8 teacher. It's kids have dropped over dead converting metric. So I write that at the top of my page, and then whenever I come across a problem like 3.6 kilometers equals how many meters, I can start from kilometers, and I know that I've got to multiply by 10, another 10, another 10, which means I've got to move my decimal point 3 spaces from here to here, which would be 36, another one, which would be 360, and another one, which would be 3,600. So that's 3,600 meters. And you can just move your decimal point backwards and forwards. Try this one. Let's convert 28 centimeters to decimeters. Decimeters has a lowercase d and decameters has an uppercase d, but that's okay. So we start with centimeters, we're moving to decameters, we're moving in this direction. So that's the direction we take the decimal point. We're dividing. So we start here, we move the decimal point to between the 2 and the 8, and our answer is 2.8 decimeters. Now this way you can convert between any units within the metric system. Some of you might prefer the usual way of giving you the information, which is 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters, and 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. And you can use that if you're happy using that. I like to use this system and just move my decimal place from whichever unit I started at to the unit that I finished at. If I'm converting from centimeters to kilometers, I move my decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces in that direction. All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. I've got some stuff from your textbook here, and you can stop the video whenever you want so that you can just do some questions and then come back to it. On page 179, question 5, convert the units. Okay, convert from one unit to another. So you're going to write in your book, you're going to go question 5A, 3 centimeters equals, centimeters, and I can go back to my over here if I want to. Centimeters to millimeters, move my decimal point 1 space in that direction. So that would be 30 millimeters. And I want you to write it like that. Write down which question you're answering. You know the drill. If you want to stop there and do that, that's fine. I think you should be able to do 10 of those in way less than 10 minutes and then be ready to move on to some perimeter questions. So for this one here, this is question 6 on the same page. You're going to write perimeter equals 10 centimeters plus, what is this side? That's 3. So that is also going to be 3. I can add those up in my head and just write 6, right? Now, this here is 10 centimeters. So this bit plus this bit must be 10 centimeters. You don't need to know the individual numbers. You just need to know that when you add them up, you get 10 centimeters. And this side here is going to be the same as the other side. It's going to be 6 centimeters. Equals 32 centimeters. Now this is centimeters in a line. These are linear units, not square units. Don't square anything when you're doing perimeter. We're just finding a distance, measuring a distance. So you're going to start by finding all the lengths that you don't know. I'll quickly skip over to F. This one's going to be 2 centimeters because these two are the same. And if that's 2 centimeters and that's 2 centimeters, then obviously this side here is going to be 4 centimeters. Right? Same across the bottom. This distance across here is going to be this one plus this one. So write down all the lengths and then write them out like this in your book. Okay? Like that. All right, I think we can move forward. Oh, G, let's have a quick look at G. I know that, oh no, it's the same. That's the same as that. So you know what number you're going to write there. You're going to add the 3 numbers together. You've already learned to add decimal numbers without a calculator. Now you can use a calculator because that'll make it a bit faster. Question 7. If I know the perimeter, I can find the missing number. Okay, so I'm going to start with 46. I'm going to take away 10, leaving me with 36. And both of these sides are the same and add to 36. So I'm going to divide that by 2 to get the missing number. So I'm going to go X equals, starting at 46, taking away 10 millimeters, which is leaving us with 32. And then what's left, the 32, is going to be divided by 2, which is going to equal, what did I say? 36 divided by 2 is going to be 18 millimeters. Always put your units in, always. Moving on, couple more, 2 more examples. Page 180, question 8. You don't know what number this is, but you know that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little lines across add up to 20 millimeters. So you can figure out that they're 4 millimeters each, or you can just go, this whole side is going to be 20 millimeters. Okay. You got 1.1 centimeters here. So this is going to be 1.1 centimeters here. And you've also got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those as well, which are 4 millimeters. Okay, so first of all, we've got centimeters and we've got millimeters. So we're going to write in your book nice and neatly. We're going to write question 8, part C, perimeter equals 20 millimeters. I might just tick it as I go because it's so many to add up. Plus, how many millimeters is that? 1.1 centimeters, that is 11 millimeters. Plus, each of these is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 nines are 36. I'm just going to write that. It's going to save me a bit of writing. And I'm going to do another 11 millimeters. And then underneath you write equals and you add them all up. I'll let you do the adding up. This one over here, you've got that whole thing is 7 meters. These two are the same as each other and add up to 7 meters. So they are obviously exactly half of 7 meters. Once you know that, you can figure out those ones. You know this, so you can figure out this one. And you can do the same thing all the way around the outside. Now, it's a good idea to tick them as you go so that you know you've got all of the lengths. One more thing. Question 13 here, you're asked to write down a rule. So the perimeter for A is this number here. We don't know the number, so we're just going to write B. And there's 2 of these. So B plus 2A is the perimeter. So if you're feeling clever, I want you to have a go at those as well. And there are also, just having a look in your book now, there are also some word questions on page 182, which you could have a go at. So that should be enough for you to answer all of those questions. And I will be back with some circumference stuff. Have fun.